One of the things I always talk about, and this is something the young team is obsessed with, is we talk about database hygiene a lot. And, the young team lives and dies by our CRM. And, we sell 500 homes a year without having the Zillow spends and the realtor.com spends, because we have a database of 55,000 people that we are obsessed with building. And we are focused. That's a metric or a KPI that we track. And when I speak on stages, and I think I spoke about this at Club Wealth, when we talk about database hygiene, I look at your database as your largest asset within the real estate industry, right? When you think of other large assets, think of houses, think of boats, think of airplanes. If I were to say to people who own boats, which I don't, do you maintain your boat? Everyone would be like 100%. You have to, otherwise it'll depreciate. It'll fall apart, right? Your house, do you replace your filters on your furnaces? Do you replace your roof when it's leaking or before it starts leaking? Do you continue to make investments into these large assets? And one of the things that's so important with the young team is our database is this large asset. And we actually have a database manager that is literally making sure that everything is being followed. If someone comes in as Timothy and their email is tim@theyoungteam.com, we change their name to Tim. And I know it's these little things. When I talk to you, if you tell me, I go by Mike or Mikey, or I prefer to be called Michael, that is a note in our database, and we make sure the name reflects it. When I call you, if I call you Mike and you go by Michael, all of a sudden you're going to know that it's a salesperson. Or if you go by Mike and I call you Michael because that's the formal name that you came in by when the lead came in, you're going to know immediately, like, who is this? You're shutting down. You're getting defensive right out of the gate. All our automations, all of our marketing factors that in. If you get a text message, automated text message or email that says not your actual, what you go by name, that reduces the probability of us being able to convert it into an opportunity. So for us, we make a very small investment. It's a VA that we have, and he focuses on database hygiene every single day. That's how important our database is to us.
Wow. Well, so by the way, I'm a huge believer in database hygiene, and I think it means different things to different people. But to your point, making sure that, you're getting that nickname right, making sure that you're spelling their names right, making sure that their email address is correct, and it's so often that we'll see, just a typo in an email address, right? Like
100%. Well, and the crazy part about it is I can't tell you how many times I've seen on the young team, we call the number and it says disconnected, right? And it's like, but we have the ability in software to find the right number. So it's like, did you go and find, like, these are little things that it's like, so if the number is disconnected, you're just going to give up. This is a person that just inquired. We know that the email matches their name. This is a bought opportunity, or, it's an organic opportunity, either or. But it's like, imagine if you look at the lens, if you look at it through the lens of like every single opportunity costs the agent on our team the money, not costing the rainmaker, right? And are they treating it that way? And that's something that we've just kind of repeatedly over and over talked about. And between, one of the reasons why, and I know we'll talk a little bit more about Fellow in the future or a little bit later, but one of the things that was so powerful about Fellow is what it was, the kind of the premise of it was, when the young team, we used to set buyer appointments. Before we did so, we had a process, an SOP that said you have to go into Forewarn that was provided by our MLS and look up their criminal history to make sure that we're not going on any appointments for safety purposes, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what happened was we'd go to Forewarn and there would be their address sitting right there. And we weren't putting that address in the CRM. And I'm like, guys, how lazy could we possibly be? We literally are going to Forewarn to make sure that they don't have a criminal history. And we're looking at their home address. We can see that they own it. So now you have a buyer lead that owns a home, and you're not taking the address and actually going and putting it in the CRM. Think about all these missed opportunities, right? And when we started actually doing this manually, it kind of became the foundation of Fellow. So I say it because, like, these are the littlest things when I talk about database hygiene. Imagine all the homeowners that are sitting in your database that you don't even know are homeowners. Imagine what your business looked like if you knew they were homeowners. And so this is things like these little things, these little, they tiny hinges swing big doors, right? Like, these are all these where there's so much revenue sitting in our business, but it requires some work and effort, right? But if you really want to wean off of the paid lead sources, the Zillow leads, the realtor, et cetera, these are the things that you have to invest into your business that'll pay off hand over fist.
Well, and so let's talk about that really quick. So I want to back up to the 55,000 leads in your database.
Yep.
Where did those leads come from?
Yeah. So we're obsessed with organic database growth. Every time someone sends us an email, sends us a note, whatever it is, they're going in the database. So I'll give you an example. And some people might think I'm crazy, but I have two kids, a 3 and a 5-year-old, and I just got an email with 25 of the parents CC'd on it saying, we're all chipping in $15 to buy the teachers a present. All 25 of those emails are going into my database, right? And some people be like, but isn't that like a little aggressive? Or, these people didn't like opt in. It's like, these are 25 people that share that I have something in common with, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll start to market to them something very subtle, like their home's value, where they already know me, right? And if they want to unsubscribe, they can. But those are the little things. Every time we just did Pie Day, we gave away 1,100 pies. We put a QR code on the pie box. Getting your home value is as easy as pie. All those people are taking those pies to Thanksgiving dinners, and we get a bunch of scans, people organically building our database. We do a lot of community events, and we prefer to do community events that are larger, where we'll put a tent out and we'll have a little billboard that says, guess your home value, win a prize. And we have a QR code, they scan it, right? So it's like, in our email signatures, get your home value in seconds. Every open house that we do, we have a platform that just captures it and pushes right in. So it's like, if you become obsessed with building your database organically, it's amazing how quickly your database can amass to a really big number. I tell people all the time, look in your phone. If you have an iPhone, you can scroll all the way down. I'm assuming you could do it on Android as well. I have like 4,600 contacts on my cell phone. How many people do you think have 1,000 plus contacts and yet they only have 100, 200 people in their CRM? How many people do you think are friends with thousands of people on Facebook, yet they only have 100, 200, 500 people in their CRM, right? Like, it's just that you have to care enough that you want to build your CRM. And then once you build your CRM, market it to it, even if it's very low intent marketing. It's a way to get your brand in front of this database. But if you start making that a priority, and we hold our team accountable to it, it is crazy how quickly the database builds.
Yeah, I hear you there, and I believe that. I've experienced that in my business as a real estate coach. I definitely experienced that in my business as an agent. I'm looking at my notes here. Forewarn. I want to make sure that everybody goes back and Forewarn is a product that everybody that's watching this should be using. It's a great product. And it, not only does it help you identify if somebody is a problem or not, so you're not going out and meeting some predator, but you also can get their address and you can put that in your CRM. I always tell people
their phone numbers on it. You can find their age on it. Like, you want to know, how should I talk to this person differently? If you're talking to a 85-year-old versus a 35-year-old, you probably want to change the communication style, right? Maybe you write a handwritten note and put it in the mail. And forewarn, I don't know. For us, it's provided by our MLS, right? It's something that is given. Once again, this was kind of the foundation of Fellow, was like, we're literally looking at this platform and we're disregarding all this really valuable, rich information. And it's like, it's just one of those things that I started realizing, like, what are we doing? What if we started dropping notes in the mail because the house that they owned, we have buyers for, and it's amazing at how many opportunities it created.
Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.